good and wonderful afternoon or evening to anybody that is listening. We are currently live for a possible outbreak here, just a small severe to tornado outbreak that we got going on here. Let's go ahead and talk about our specs before we get into those tornado warnings here. You will hear dispatch come in. I am joining here in with the Malakote team. Whoops. And we all work together to get warning out to you guys. But we are currently live and we're going to be watching this outbreak here. But as I pull up, alright, let's go ahead and show y'all. Oh, one of my scenes are out. Just give me 1 second.
This 1308 some back tonight as doing central or the
Display capture. Alright, sorry, technical issue there. But anyway, we do have two slight risks today, which is where we're dealing with our severe weather and tornado warnings. Mainly here. We got two tornado warnings in Nebraska currently. So if you are in Nebraska, let me go ahead and start kind of name out names here. If you're in McCook, Nebraska, you need to be in shelter. There's already been some reports of funnel clouds, and there's been a report of 1.75 inches of hail. And then moving on over here to another part of Nebraska near Guthernberg, we do have another tornado warning that expires in 1 minute. We could probably expect a extension, or it's just going to expire. It may just expire by the looking of the rotation, though there's still broad rotation with this storm, so we're going to continue to monitor that. Our main focus here is near McCook, Nebraska, where there's already been a few reports of a tornado, or of a funnel cloud, excuse me. And I'm just going to stay with you guys today instead of clicking in and out, because this is an important broadcast here. Any second we can have new tornado warnings and anything like that. I will disappear every once in a while. But I'm going to kind of take a look at what we got here and what we could be dealing with. So far we only got that one tornado warning that we're watching now. I think that other one might have expired. Nope, it's still there. Yeah, it says expired. It probably needs to refresh. Let me go ahead and take a look at this now. Now, one issue we do have here is that we do not have good radar out towards the Nebraskan area. So it's going to be extremely hard to pick out and look at some of these storms in person here. But let's see. Okay, I got desktop audio. These desktop audio right there. Scene. Okay. I was just making sure I got audio for all of these. But right now, to what the storm is looking like outside, but again, we have very bad radar to look at here. It's looking like a big hailer mostly. That's just normally when there's a bunch of hail with these storms, they're decently weak with tornado rotation, but not all the time. They could still bring in a decent amount of storms and even rotate into a tornado. So that doesn't mean much of anything. So we still need to be watching this and be weather aware in this area. If you are, again, in McCook, and it looks like they just added a new tornado warning here. I think the other one, no, I can't see it. It probably already expired, but we got a new tornado warning here. It's not letting me click on it at all. Maybe they expired it. I'll have to go check up here. Let me pull up the National Weather Service chat. This is Storm Chasers. Let me ask. A second, guys. And just I'm going to save this here. Alrighty. So far, we're just going to be dealing with some tornadoes here. We got a bunch of funnel cloud reports about 50 minutes ago in Nebraska. So we're getting... It's been a little bit since this tornado's done anything, it looks like, but we're still going to be monitoring it. So be advised about that. I'm going to go ahead and try to listen into our dispatch here. We're going to go ahead and listen in and see what we can get. And you're about to listen again to Malakote WX dispatch team here. So this is 1582. What do we got on this storm near McCook? If anybody wants to give a explaining on that.
Good. 1582. By that storm by McCook here, I just got a TVS marker on that storm with 2 inches hail with metro strength of 3801, moving east-southeast 10 miles, still on V0, strong severe hills, 60% hills, 100 on that storm right there.
10-4, thank you. Okay.
No problem.
So TDS is to tornado.
1582. I've been tracking it since it started. It's been exponentially growing. It's been off and on weakening. It did have a warning earlier. I don't know if it still does or not. My radar is down.
10-4, it still does currently have a tornado warning, and the rotation is strengthening once again. And I do not see a tornado signature just yet, or any tornado debris just yet, but the rotation is strengthening.
Silicon 1582, I would definitely prefer that here. The rotation does look really strong by McCook County.
So, TDS normally means tornado debris signature, but there's not any tornado debris signature. Excuse me. We normally look at the CC, or the correlation coefficient, to double check and see if there's debris with the storm, and luckily we do not have any. Excuse me. And right now, to what it looks like, the couplets are starting to kind of break apart again. We're going to continue to monitor this once again and just keep an eye on it for general reasons. If my live stream is skipping a few areas, please let me know down in the comments. I would like to know, because I know I got some very skippy internet, and I want to, excuse for that, because I got some bad internet. Let's see. Excuse me if I go silent as well. I do not mean to. I try to keep talking as much as I possibly can, but I'm trying to pull up some other things. I'm going to keep that off, though, because I know y'all don't want to hear a sound each and every time they issue something. So far, there's only been about around 5:33, a couple minutes ago. There was reports of hail up to penny size, up to penny size, and this was reported by a spotter, I'm pretty sure, close southeast of Stockville, Nebraska. Just gonna let y'all know I'm currently live on YouTube. You can again go take a look at the Messenger app or the Messenger and check out the live stream. If y'all got any information, y'all will be overheard by the people watching.
I'm having issues with my connections as well.
Okay. 10-4. So rotationing the rotation, excuse me, is rotate. It is picking up strength once again, and we're going to continue to monitor this. I'm going to go ahead and kind of keep it playing. It's moved rotation couplets.
I'm just playing right now.
It looks like it just moves spots pretty much. We're going to continue to monitor that. We got reports by a train spotter in Garrison County, Texas. Reports of hail of quarter size, 1.00 inches, reported around 5:34 p.m. CDT. And then we got
Mic check. Yeah.
This is 1582. We can hear you. 1308.
10-4.
Nothing else so far. We're just gonna kind of continue to watch. Let me go ahead and zoom out here. We don't want to forget about these warnings. They're still severe at an extent. We have a wall cloud. That was around our rotation around. Anyway, we got more severe thunderstorms over here towards Kansas and Nebraska. We got one towards Texas. I'll go ahead and take a look at that one here in just a minute. These are still severe with 60 up to 70 mile per hour wind gust and small hail. Doesn't look like any of them is rotating. They just have a good bit of some gust with them. Taking a look at this one here, which does look decently. It looks pretty well.
This is Central. What's on the board? On the severe board.
Stand by for 1 minute here. We had one tornado warning.
I'm going to let them handle that. But as I was saying, we got the storm near Kansas that's slightly rotating broadly. I'm going to double make sure with the dispatch to see if they see that. It does look like it was forming a hook. This is something to watch for here. If you are in Toledo, Kansas, you do need to be paying attention. Let me go ahead and report this. I got an area that I'm going to be watching for just northeast of Strong City, Kansas. We do have, it's kind of like looking like a hook echo. It did have rotation for a little bit, just very broad rotation. So far, it's starting to kind of twist back up and start to rotate once again. But again, near just northeast of Strong City, Kansas, there's an interesting cell, if y'all can monitor that.
I'll cover it.
10-4, thank you. So we're going to continue to monitor this storm here.
We have watching them the cook horn. How many do we have watching them the cook horn?
That's you on that storm. I want you one.
10-4, 1582. What storm are you on?
Cook corn, Mick Cook again, in Nebraska, excuse me.
1308. What storm are you on?
I'm currently monitoring Twitter, see if anything pops up, like damage and stuff.
1308. If you see anything, please let me know.
10-4, what do? Central copies on traffic.
Anyway, anybody that's watching this live stream, I'm sorry for the just talking back and forth and trying to keep up with things. I'm just trying to make sure I get all the information coming in. This is my first live weather live stream here, this is my first time doing this. So there's going to be a lot of changes. There's going to be a lot of me learning on how to do this and learning how to keep talking to you guys and just kind of picking up my pace. We're going to continue to monitor these storms, but for right now, I'm going to be making sure that we don't have any other reports. Okay, so we got reports of thunderstorm wind damage, and that is in Cedar Key, Florida. So we do have some severe thunderstorm warnings in Cedar Key as well. There was one, I know. And that report was for 42 mile per hour wind gust. We got some cells in Texas. I don't know if I came over here yet. Looks interesting. It may have rotation as well, so we're going to have to monitor that. And this area too is
522. King 81 to 522.
It's currently 10-6.
As I was saying, we do have a tornado possibility over here. There's some cape with this area. I know there was earlier before, but we're going to continue to monitor this storm near Denton, Texas. It has a hook formation to it. It's moving decently slow though, and it does have some hail signature with it too. It's hard to tell though because its radar is really far out. For some reason, we have less radars out in the plains than we do on the southern extent side. Like, we need some radars in Nebraska.
Showing you 10-6.
Alright, we're going to continue to monitor this cell here. But welcome everybody. We are currently live for this 9/21/23 possible tornado and severe weather outbreak. We're going to continue to monitor for possible tornadoes and, in that extent, just severe thunderstorms in general. Our main risk is going to be for severe thunderstorms, and we're going to continue to watch for that. But for right now, at this time, we got one tornado warning, and this one tornado warning is... It's still severe warned for a tornado. Of course, it's a tornado warning. But we're going to continue.
Are you still live on YouTube?
Excuse me, y'all. 10-4, I am still live on YouTube. But the storm in Nebraska is still spinning up a whole bunch. There's still decent... 10-4. It's still rotating a good bit, and we're just going to continue to monitor the storm as it continues to rotate. Right now it's weekend, but again, around McCook, it is still picking up pace with its rotation. No CC drop, but again, we do not have good radar out here, so we're going to monitor that. But I want to scroll back down here, and I want to excuse me moving around too much here. But I want to take a look at Florida here. We could have a few strong pop-up showers and storms this evening for the Florida area. We got 2 marine warnings in this general, well, 3. No, that's 2. 2 marine warnings in Florida, just off the coast of Florida. We got 1 tornado warning, a flash flood warning just east of that tornado warning, northeast of that tornado warning. We got 2 severe thunderstorm warnings in Kansas, and that is for this slow-moving storm here. Hold on. this is 1582. That one storm in Kansas, does it have a CC drop with it? I think it does. No answer. This one storm in Kansas may have a tornado on the ground currently. It could be a downburst too. No, we could have a tornado on the ground, maybe. $15.82. Does anybody have any confirmation of a tornado possibly on the ground in Kansas? It is unwarned, other than a severe thunderstorm warning.
What's the 1020 on that storm?
Just northwest of north. Give me a second. Just northeast of Strong City, Kansas.
10-4, I see on your live stream.
It could be noise, but I can't tell because there was a small CC drop, maybe possibly, and then it blew up to be extremely big. But I think it could be noise. Never mind, there's rotation right where it would be, so this could be a possible tornado on the ground. I don't know, what do you think?
I'm trying to get the radar working now.
If y'all want to know other things that I post, you can follow me on Twitter at WeathermanNick1. I'll go ahead and share my Twitter before I do anything else. This is my Twitter here, and this is what I was going to show you guys, but I don't have formation, so I don't really want to. But anyway, this is my Twitter here. This is where you can get 24/7 warnings from me onto Twitter because I repost a bunch of stuff. And this is where I get most of my things. I have 1,000 followers. But if you would like, you can follow me on Twitter and I could keep you guys posted on anything that's going on. I forgot to mention that we do have a 5% tornado risk from Nebraska all the way to Kansas. They extended it earlier this morning, let's just say. And then we got that 2% tornado risk here. The wind risk is 15% in both areas, and hail risk, we got a SIG hail risk over here, meaning we can have more hail than abnormally normal with severe weather threat. I do not think if it was on the ground, the National Weather Service would have already warned it. But it could be on the ground, and I really need confirmation if it's on the ground, but I think it is. But I haven't gotten anything back from anybody at this time. Here soon, we're also going to try to set up a webcam and be able to work on a green screen as well, so stay tuned for that, but that's not the whole point. Here, we're live streaming your coverage. I'm going to leave this one alone for a second, and I'm going to go over here to this one to see what it's up to. Yeah, I think they're going to allow this tornado warning to expire, possibly. Near McCook, Kansas. These storms are moving relatively slow. So we could be dealing with a lot of flooding issues towards these areas here, and some hail too. Alright, I will be right back, y'all. I'll go ahead and play some music, and I will continue in just a second. Alrighty, y'all. Sorry for my absence for a second there. I had to go do something. But we're going to go ahead and continue to monitor these storms here. We still have that tornado warning that has not expired, but it's about to expire in McCook, Kansas, or Nebraska, excuse me. It is still going on here. Rotation is hard to tell if we got any rotation with it, but we might still have a broad rotation. And if we do, they'll extend that tornado warning, but I have not gotten anything from any of the NWS chats or National Weather Service chats here. We got some newer cells that could also start rotating, but they're mainly being, all the energy from other rain showers here is using up most of the energy here. This is going to be something else to watch as it continues to form. This is just going to be something else to sit here and watch for. Good, it's starting to kind of form out. We'll see what it does near Red Cloud, Nebraska. Well, that's pretty close to Kansas, too. Moving back over here, we still got that cell here. It has a really deep hail signature, so we could be getting baseball-sized hail with this one storm in Kansas. Rotation is very messy. And I'm going to try to see what... Okay, so the CCE is actually showing a hail spike to my notice here. I'm going to go ahead. That one storm in Kansas, the CC is actually showing a hail spike, I believe, from the storm. Not any. And as I talk about it, we got reports of baseball-sized hail up in Nebraska, not in Kansas, though.
10-4. Thank you.
No problem. So, not a tornado on the ground, and
10-4, copy that, copy traffic. 18 chance.
nothing on the ground, nor is there a very intense rotation. There's a couplet here, though. We're going to have to continue to watch for it. And that tornado warning in Red Willow, Nebraska was allowed to expire. Red Willow. That's Red Cloud. Okay, so that's over here. It was allowed to expire now. So that means it's out of the severe warn area. Or it's out of the severe warn coverage that it was having. This one here may be severe warned here in a little bit. No, now it's starting to have a big hail spike. So, yeah, what we're seeing on CC is just a big hail spike. So if you're near Strong City or just northeast of Strong City and you are just north of Toledo, Kansas, you are probably getting hit hard by this storm. So please take shelter in a sturdy building away from windows. If you're on the road, be sure to find a place to take cover immediately. So far, I don't see anything else other than just a huge hail spike. I'm trying to see if anybody's out storm chasing out towards the Kansas area. 1582 to Central. Is there anybody storm chasing today, or is it just quiet? We do have a little small.
I don't think so. I can ask 81 if he is.
10-4. So we have a small boundary here that's causing storms to develop right behind it here. And then this boundary is starting to head towards this Kansas storm here. So whatever that will do, we'll see. Normally it can tear them apart, but we're going to continue to watch with that. And we've got a newer interesting cell to watch here. We're going to continue to watch for that one. Going back over here to the Nebraskan storm, that tornado once again has expired near McCook. Again, we're going to continue to watch for these areas, but so far we got no tornado warnings at this time. We have 1, 2, 3. We have a few severe thunderstorm warnings. We have 7 severe thunderstorm warnings stretching from Nebraska all the way to Texas. We have nothing in Oklahoma at this time other than a few rain showers. Well, this one does kind of touch Oklahoma a bit here. So we do have 1 severe thunderstorm warning in Oklahoma. This storm is mainly going to stay severe thunderstorm warning now that it has just an interesting hail signature. Still has rotation, but the rotation is weak enough that they do not need a tornado warning at this time. And then we got a fewer other storms around here. We could be dealing with a flooding issue towards, give me a second, let me see where this is at.
2 Central, back 10:41 today.
So we could have some flooding issues over here in Nebraska near Bassett and Answorth, Nebraska here. Strong winds and a shelf cloud could...
Chasing today that we know of?
A shelf cloud could be seen possibly with the
22
storm.
Central, I don't believe so. Is 1 King 81 10-6?
But we're going to continue to watch for these as well. You could be dealing with some strong storms with this one. And we're just going to continue again to watch. We do have a new flash flood warning here. I did just now seen that.
Samuel 22 to 1 Central is King 20, King 81 10-6.
We got a new storm that we need to watch near Gove, Kansas. No rotation just yet. We're gonna continue to watch it.
10-9.
I'm gonna watch these, and watch these. But so far, no other storms in the area except for these severe thunderstorm warnings. Again, you could be expecting lots of
He's
hail.
currently 10-6. He just got out 10 minutes ago.
You could be dealing with lots of hail with these storms. So please take shelter, move into a sturdy room,
Samuel 22.
interior of your house, and stay away from windows. And when thunder roars, go indoors and turn around and don't drown. Do not drive onto flooded roadways. If you're in the populated area just north of Dallas, if you're in
Samuel
Sherman
22 dispatch.
to Howie, we could be dealing with some strong winds with this storm and some large hail. You could expect up to 1 inch in size hail. Penny to golf ball size hail could be expected with this storm. And
Go ahead for dispatch.
60 to 70 mile per hour wind gusts is possible. And maybe a possible spin up
West
tornado.
Sharon traffic 10-9.
We're gonna monitor that.
Go ahead for central.
Is 1582 10-8.
I'm 10-8. We got a hail report over here in Red Cloud. This was reported at
1582. Do you have any tornado warnings on the board?
At this time, we have 0 tornado warnings on the board. We have up to 6 to 7 severe thunderstorm warnings at this time.
Copy.
Once again, we got hail up to 1.25 inches in Red Cloud. If you are in Red Cloud, you could be dealing with some hail, significant hail that could be damaging to cars, houses, vehicles, any of that sorts.
Audience alert test only. Test code 1804.
10-4. Sorry about that. If you are in this area, I'm just gonna sit here and monitor this storm. You could be dealing with some possible flash flooding with that storm as well. And we're gonna go back over here towards Kansas. If you are in this area, you could also be dealing with flash flooding and large hail and severe to damaging wind gust. I'm gonna stay here with you guys as long as I possibly can. I might get somebody to join in with us to watch these storms live.
Is the air clear?
Wait,
National Weather Service emergency alert.
Bravo Comma monitoring. It's be advised National Weather Service in Goodland, Kansas issued a severe thunderstorm warning for western Wedwillow County and southwestern Nebraska until 7 p.m. Central Daylight Time. At 5:58 p.m. CDT, a severe thunderstorm was located near McCook, moving east at 5 miles an hour. as include ping pong ball size hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Sources radar indicated. The severe storm will be near McCook around 6:05 p.m. Central Time. A tornado watch remains in effect until 10:00 p.m. Central Standard Time for southwestern Nebraska. Dispatch BravoCom out at 18:06.
10-4, thank you.
Thank you. We also got reports of hail of half-dollar size by Train Spotter in Red Willow, Nebraska. Again, Red Willow, Nebraska. We got reports of half-dollar size hail.
Oh yeah, it's traffic.
Excuse me for any noises that we deal with here.
National Weather Service emergency alert.
I'm going to mention we do actually have a tropical storm area that we're going to be watching here for the next several days, and that's going to be towards the east coast where we could be dealing with flooding with this storm here. Let me go ahead and pull that up. So we got potential tropical storm 16 in the tropics here. So maximum sustained winds is 35 miles per hour. It could get up to tropical storm status by the time it makes landfall. We got Hurricane Nigel in the Atlantic Ocean, not causing any issues other than maybe some rough surf out there, or just some rough waters for the fishies. And then we got disturbance 1 here, a 40% chance of cyclone formation in the next 48 hours. Eastern tropical Atlantic showers and thunderstorms associated with a broad area of low pressure a couple hundred miles southwest of the Cabo Verde Islands are beginning to show signs of organization. Environmental conditions are forecast to be conducive for gradual development of this system, and a tropical depression is likely to form this weekend or early next week. While the system moves generally westward at 10 to 15 miles per hour across the eastern and central tropical Atlantic, formation chance through 48 hours, medium 40%. Formation chance through 7 days, high 80%. And this could be our newest issue after this one. This could be our next hurricane, possibly major. We don't exactly know yet, and for us to know, we're going to have to wait a few more days. But we can look at the models, but the models is not always going to be right. But taking a look at tropical storm, or not even, potential tropical cyclone 16. It has a wind speed of 35 miles per hour, currently moving north at 8 miles per hour. It is still developing, nothing too big just yet. We could be there is some tropical storm watches out here, so we could be dealing with some up to 70 mile per hour wind gusts and some possible flooding and some storm surge through this area. So if you are in this area, please be sure to be aware about that. And we're going to go ahead and go back to our stream here and take a look at our severe weather. We still got major hail falling over here near McCook, Nebraska, and we could be dealing with that for a few more hours. And then we got some more hail falling over here towards the Red Cloud and Cowles, Kansas and Nebraskan area as well. We're going to continue to watch for that. You could be expecting wind speeds up to 60 miles per hour. Looks like there could be a new couplet trying to rotate up, trying to form, but we'll just continue to monitor that. We could also be dealing with some major hail over here close to Kansas City, just southwest of Kansas City here. We could be dealing with some hail and strong winds. If you are in Strong City, Kansas, and Cottonwood Falls, Kansas, just east of you, we got a big hailer. Y'all probably already dealt with the hail, but we're going to continue to monitor this. But so far, we got 6 severe thunderstorm warnings at this time. Taking a look just north of Dallas, Texas, we got cells still moving through Dallas, Texas. You could be expecting, again, 60 to 70 miles per hour and some large hail with some of these storms. But nothing else to currently really have a big attention to. We're going to pay attention to the radar for a few minutes until we get anything severer than what we got. And here's just a wide view here. I'll go ahead and play some music as we continue to watch these severe storms. I will still be monitoring, but we'll just have music playing as we sit here and monitor. So we're going to continue monitoring here. I am back to give an update and just kind of keep the quietness here. I know not everybody wants to listen to music the whole live stream. But we're going to continue to monitor these storms. Again, we got big hail falling all the way. So we got big hail over here in Nebraska. We got hail falling in Kansas. They allowed that severe thunderstorm warning. No, they didn't. Never mind. Severe thunderstorm warning continues, and so it's going to continue for 28 minutes from now. This one here is going to continue for 43 minutes. This one over here is going to continue for 13 minutes. And then the one in Texas and Oklahoma will continue till 12 to 27 minutes left on those severe thunderstorm warnings. They could extend it, and they might keep them quiet. So far, severe weather is calmed down. I know I missed possibly half of the outbreak, or not outbreak, not gonna call it an outbreak yet, but I know I missed half of the storms that happened. Now I'm gonna keep my eye on this cell here. It's still here, and it's still possibly gonna be causing issues. So we're gonna keep an eye on it and see what it does. But so far, nothing yet to really keep an eye on, other than this one storm. And we are gonna kind of pull up the National Weather Service here. Excuse me. We got wind gusts reported in Florida up to 70 miles per hour. So if you were in Florida, we got an aircraft. If you're flying an aircraft around Florida too, be sure to be weather aware of that. And we're going to continue to monitor that. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the National Weather Service, and we're going to take a look at satellite just to kind of look and see the storms blowing up. We still have a tornado warning until 10 p.m. later on tonight. I'm going to pull up the satellite imagery. Whoops. So we're going to continue to take a look at this. I know I've said that a lot. So here's what the storms look like as they formed later this afternoon. They completely blew up, and they're continuing to blow up as of now. But as they lose their daylight heating, we're going to start seeing a weakening trend on half of these storms as they continue. And we're just going to continue to watch this cell again in Kansas. But so far, nothing else is looking interesting. We're going to look at this one again because there's some slight rotation with it still, but nothing else severe out of that. But you can see how it kind of forms one of those hooks. Matter of fact, there might have been two rotations at one time. And they're starting to kind of dissipate their rotation. So far, nothing else. We got more cells back here that's causing issues with hail. But we're going to be slightly quiet for right now. We're going to continue to watch these cells and just keep an eye on them. But we're going to go back with the music. If a tornado warning does get issued, I will come back on. And if we end up getting a destructive severe thunderstorm warning, I will also come back on for that. Alrighty, y'all. So, nothing extremely harsh just yet. Still, we're still dealing with that strong hail and just strong storms in general. No rotation, maybe some broad rotation with most of these storms. We do have a gust front here with one of these storms. But other than that, we don't really have much rotation at all. Of course, I'm going to stay live just in case we end up having a decent amount of rotation. And this is where we'll just kind of sit here and talk about it. But for right now, nothing too much is going on other than just severe storms. We're going to continue to monitor that. And it's mainly in Nebraska that we're going to continue to watch. This cell is going to be one cell that we're going to have to watch here. So I'm going to stay right here. Sorry about that, y'all. So again, we're just gonna continue to watch this one cell over here in Nebraska. This cell is just north of Sutherland, or just south of Sutherland, Nebraska. Right now, it's got a bunch of other cells around it that's gonna maybe sizzle out the actual rotation. It may just merge into these cells and become a bigger one, which will become a little bit of a bigger issue because it won't have anything taking away the energy. But so far, it's not an issue right now. We still got this one cell over here in Nebraska that's not or Kansas that's not doing much at all, other than just being a small cell. Most of these storms are just severe, just very severe, and we're just going to continue to watch these storms. They did continue a severe thunderstorm warning here just for Blue Hill and Close, Nebraska. So if you are in this area, this storm will be heading for you here very, very soon. You could be expecting up to 60 to 70 mile per hour wind gust, mainly 60. And you could be expecting some large to dime golf ball size hail with these storms. And for the next several days, I meant to mention that for the next several days, we're going to be dealing with severe weather here. I'm going to go ahead and get that pulled up so we can actually see. Since there's nothing much going on, we're going to go ahead and talk about our next several days of severe weather. And if you are still with me an hour onto this live stream, this is what our next several days. Of course, you got today, September 21st, 2023. We got that day one convective outlook. We got two slight risks, one in Oklahoma and Texas. Cities affected will be Wichita Falls, Dallas, and Fort Steele, and maybe a little bit of Norman, Oklahoma. But Fort Steele, Norman, that's going to be in Oklahoma, and then Wichita Falls and Dallas will be in Texas. And then we got another slight risk in Kansas and Nebraska. Affected cities would be McCombs and Colby, and that will Colby being in Kansas and McCombs being in Nebraska. So we're going to continue to monitor that. We got a 5% tornado risk in this area in Nebraska, 15% for winds in both areas of the slight risk, and then we got a 15 sig risk in Nebraska and a 15% risk in Oklahoma and Texas for hail. Looking at day 2 tomorrow, we got a slight risk over here and a marginal risk. This is mainly possibly for that storm that's moving through, that low pressure. Right now it's enveloped pretty much, and we're going to continue to monitor that. It could be causing some severe weather. Over here, spin up storms. Yep, they are going to be monitoring this area for possible spin up tornadoes and storms from that storm moving through. We got a slight risk over here in Nebraska and now South Dakota. We got a marginal risk for North and South Dakota, Wyoming, Minnesota, Iowa, and Nebraska. We're going to be watching for a 2% tornado risk for South Dakota and Nebraska, and a 15% risk mainly located in North Dakota and Nebraska. Once again, that's where that slight risk is. We're going to be monitoring for tornadoes here. And looking forward, this is going to be our big day here. We got a huge slight risk stretching all the way from Oklahoma to the Dakotas and Minnesota and Ohio here. And this is going to be a convective line system here that's going to move through QLCS. We're going to continue to monitor that. I'm not even showing the screen. We're going to continue to monitor this area here. This is a huge slight risk. We could maybe get an enhanced risk added with this, maybe a moderate later on. This is our day 3 outlook looking back at the day 2. We got, again, that slight risk and slight risk here. And then day 1, you got today's risk. And we do not have a day 4 or all the way to 8 outlook just yet. By the time this system moves through, it should start to weaken, and it shouldn't affect anybody else. We still have the severe thunderstorm warning in McCook. If you are in McCook, you really need to be staying in shelter. This storm is just hanging around this area. It's been hanging around here for nearly 30 minutes to an hour. So if you are in this area, please stay inside and watch the roads now. You could have lots of hail on the ground that could be causing lots of flash flooding issues. And with that, you could be dealing with just a lot of rain. So if you're in this area, please stay indoors. Looking down towards Kansas, we still got slow-moving storms over here. They may expire this severe thunderstorm warning and not add a new one. We got a report of flooding over here in Kansas. The one severe thunderstorm warning just south of Oklahoma was allowed to expire. We still got that one in Denton, Texas. We're going to continue to monitor that one. It has a bunch of hail reports of pea-sized hail, so if you're in Denton, you're probably getting some more hail today. You was dealing with some hail the other day. Now you're dealing with it again. No rotation of any sorts with this storm, but we're going to continue to monitor for any severe, a little bit more severe weather, but main focus is 60-mile-per-hour wind gust and hail. We got Nebraska here that we're just mainly keeping an eye on, and we got Kansas that has a few storms that are severe at this time. Later on this afternoon and evening, mainly evening, we're going to kind of watch for some more development over here. And but so far, we are going to stay quiet. We just got a lot of hail that we're going to be dealing with. Nothing else that I know of or see. The chat's been pretty quiet. We may end the live stream here if we're going to wait a little bit longer. If things keep up to stay quiet, we'll end the live stream. But if things continue to stay ongoing, we're going to continue to monitor. But for now, it's decently quiet, so if you're just in those severe thunderstorm warnings, I completely need y'all to just stay warned. nothing. We could actually kind of pull up some traffic cams possibly and kind of be nosy. I'm trying to pull up. Ooh, this is cool. I figured out something. Be nice if I can actually pull up a camera though. Unfortunately we don't really have a camera at this time. Weather cams, there we go. Maybe? No. Okay, so this is cameras. Don't really have any cameras. We have a very few minimum. Don't have much. We could take a look towards. I'm gonna guess. I don't know where. Oh, this is somewhere. Oh, this is in Huntsville. Got a beautiful sunset in Huntsville. Let's just mention that. Let's look at that. Got a beautiful sunset in Huntsville, Alabama. Going on. Beautiful. No, maybe a few rain showers this afternoon. There was a few as I was driving by. Just to mention, I live just east or just west of Huntsville, Alabama. We had a few rain showers here and there, but it's a pretty clear day, as you see there. We don't have any other cameras that can give us visual of any storms currently. We're just gonna monitor. I mean, I would love to have some storm chasers on the ground that can help me out during live streams. Excuse me. But we don't really have anybody that's around Kansas. And I don't want to use anybody's content that's not my content. And we don't have anything that's worthy of showing from anybody. Decently nice storms though around Nebraska area. Beautiful storms. Now we just gotta continue to watch for. But this Saturday we're gonna watch for some severe storms. And I do want to take a look at that here. I'm really interested on Saturday. First of all, we got the Wakita, Oklahoma Suck Zone for the Twister movie, the Suck Zone event where they normally have a whole bunch of storm chaser vehicles, people that will come and talk, all kinds of fun stuff. Definitely recommend you to go visit. But we could have severe weather on that day too. I'm concerned for that as well because, on an event like that, you're going to have a lot of people in Oklahoma. So we're just going to watch for severe weather on that day, and if I have to, I'll go live because, of course, I'm not going to be able to go. I've been to Wakita, Oklahoma, though. Really great place and really great museums. It's pretty awesome. You could find the Dorothy there, and on the events, once again, you can go to the annual car shows there with all kinds of storm chasers. So looking at HRRR here, we're looking at the Friday outlook here. It's mainly looking like we're gonna have kind of like a hell event. Tornadic, we could have a few cells develop around here, and this could be what's going on now. We could be dealing with a few flash flooding issues and some strong storms along this area here. This is going to be about midnight to mid-morning tomorrow. This is as far as we can go. But we could be dealing with up to 75 miles per hour with this, and large hail as well. Taking a look at NAM, which takes us out a little bit farther, you can see that. And what could develop and move all the way down to the Alabama area. That's going to be a few days ahead there. Saturday, we could have this. We could have MCS develop, move through, or QLCS is mainly MCS, probably. Get them mixed up a little bit sometimes. Forgive me. But we could have a little bit of a development of a line of storms here. Cause issues for the Tulsa, Oklahoma area. And if I can remember some of the places there, we could be just dealing with a lot of issue with that. Looking towards Texas area, nothing to deal with other than today's weather. Just a few developing cells could cause some issues. That was now. We're going to be dealing with that for a few more hours. That's pretty much what it looks like. Taking a look at our Nebraskan area here, we could have, as of now, this line of storms is moving through. There's a few cells right here that could develop. And we got these storms that could move into the Kansas area. This is the line of storms that could be supercellular. We could be dealing with that. And we're just going to have to continue to watch for any severe weather. Other than that, it's going to be decently loud over there in Kansas and Oklahoma and Texas area. But it is staying mostly quiet. We still got those severe thunderstorm warnings. No tornado warnings has been issued. So we may go ahead and end the live stream for now. If we do have another tornado warning that is issued, I will possibly go live on Facebook. You can add me on Facebook at Nicholas Driver, and I can share that. And Facebook is where I post most of my personal amount of things on Facebook. Here is my Facebook here. This is where I post most of personal stuff and just my weather updates for locally. This is where I mainly stay for my local weather updates. But I plan on staying on TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube most of the time with worldwide updates. So if you want to stay tuned, you can add me on TikTok at Nicholas Driver 14, and you can add me on YouTube at Weatherman Nick 2020, the one you're watching me on now, and you could also add me on Twitter at Weatherman Nick 1. Well, we're gonna go ahead and end this live stream. Thank you guys for watching. I'm sorry for the boringness of the live stream. If anything goes on, follow me, and I will keep you guys updated via that. But thank you guys for watching, and have a